Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into some of the most profound words ever spoken by Jesus. We're looking at an ancient text that's entirely focused on one thing: finding rest when you are just completely, utterly depleted. Instead of tossing out typical self-care advice, it offers this radical, almost paradoxical solution to that universal, exhausting feeling we all know too well: burnout. So let's jump right in. Let me ask you, are you feeling overburdened right now? Honestly, it's pretty incredible to think that the feeling of being totally crushed by the weight of the world isn't just a modern 21st century problem. It's deeply fundamentally human. The text we're analyzing today speaks directly to that exact condition. But before it actually offers the solution, it lays some groundwork about who exactly has the capacity to receive it. Listen closely to how this begins. It says, "I bless you, Father, Lord of heaven and of earth, for hiding these things from the learned and the clever and revealing them to mere children. Yes, Father, for that is what it pleased you to do." Wow. Notice that massive reversal of expectations right out of the gate? Usually we assume great cosmic truths belong to the scholars, right? The intellectuals, the folks who've studied in libraries for decades. But here, it explicitly flips the script. Truth isn't uncovered through intellectual arrogance. It's actually found through humility. It sets up such a fascinating contrast. Think about it. From the learned and clever, these profound truths of rest and revelation are actively hidden, blocked. But to mere children, that same truth is just freely revealed. It really challenges us, doesn't it? When we're dealing with our own heavy burdens, are we stubbornly trying to cleverly figure everything out on our own? Or are we acting like the child, receptive, open, and actually willing to be taught? Now, before we get to that big promise of rest, there's a vital step we have to cover, and that's establishing authority. The text says, "Everything has been entrusted to me by my Father." And this makes total sense, because if a promise of ultimate rest doesn't come from a place of ultimate authority, well, they're just empty words, right? The text wants to reassure us absolutely about where this authority originates. What we're looking at is a very exclusive flow of divine knowledge. The text states that no one knows the Son except the Father, and right alongside that, no one knows the Father except the Son. But then there's this incredibly important addition: those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. So this exclusive chain of divine knowledge, it's purposefully opened up. It's extended outward. And the big question is, who is it extended to? Well, it's extended directly to the exhausted. It pivots from this grand cosmic authority straight into a deeply personal invitation. "Come to me, all you who labor and are overburdened, and I will give you rest." Just pause and think about the sheer weight of those words for a second. To labor, to be overburdened. We're talking about a state of being completely, utterly crushed. And the response to that crushing weight is this incredible, soothing promise of absolute rest. So exactly who is this invitation for? It's for those who labor and those who are overburdened. I want you to mentally place yourself directly into this text for a moment to see if you qualify for this relief. Notice, it doesn't say, "Come to me, all you who have your lives perfectly organized and put together." No way. It speaks directly to the worn out. The only prerequisite for this divine rest is simply being exhausted. But that brings up a really good question. How exactly is this rest delivered? Which introduces a massive elephant in the room. Wait a minute. How in the world can a yoke bring rest? Think about it. When you're completely exhausted, you want a fluffy pillow, right? Or a week on a sunny beach, or just to drop whatever heavy thing you're holding. The absolute last thing you want to be handed is a piece of heavy agricultural equipment. Just to be crystal clear here, a yoke is a heavy, cumbersome wooden beam that you literally shoulder to perform intense labor. It is quite literally a mechanism of work. And that emphasizes exactly why pairing this burdensome instrument with the concept of rest is such a radical paradox. You're essentially being told that the way out of your crushing, back-breaking labor is to strap on a tool designed for labor. How does that make any sense at all? Well, the text provides a truly beautiful resolution to that paradox. It says, "Shoulder my yoke and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." And there it is. That's the key. The yoke brings rest precisely because of the gentleness of the one who's offering it. Do you see how it loops right back to the beginning of the text? It's not about being clever. It's about learning from someone who is gentle and humble in heart. The character of the one you are tethered to changes the entire nature of the work. The text actually lays out a very clear, active mechanism for exactly how the weary can trade their exhaustion for this deep rest. It's 3 steps. Step 1, come to him. Step 2, shoulder his yoke. Step 3, learn from him. Notice that it's an ongoing process. You don't just completely stop moving. Rather, you change how you move and who you are moving with. This right here is the precise blueprint for finding rest for your soul. This just completely shifts our perspective. Instead of that old, heavy burden of laboring all by yourself, relying entirely on your own cleverness until you inevitably burn out, you are offered the light burden of an easy yoke tethered to someone gentle. And the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that it's not about having zero burdens in life. Life requires labor, for sure. It's about exchanging a crushing, solitary weight for a manageable, shared one. Which brings us to the closing words of this ancient text. Yes, my yoke is easy and my burden light. An easy yoke, a light burden. It completely reframes how we approach our duties, our daily hardships, and really just the sheer weight of existence. It reinforces the deeply comforting nature of this entire message. So, I want to leave you with this. What heavy burden are you currently carrying that you need to trade for an easier yoke? Think about all those things you're trying to manage all on your own, just powering through with your own cleverness. Take a moment to really reflect on how this ancient invitation to step into a gentle, humble partnership applies directly to your life today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.